Greetings, Cap fans. Welcome to episode 236 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Rick Verbanis, and I've got a co-host. His name's Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob. I guess it comes down to a single choice. Get busy living or get busy dying.
Nice. That's good advice. That's good
Yeah?
advice, Rick. Yeah.
Well,
Otherwise, you
I
could
can't
end up
take...
in prison.
Well, yeah. Well, so where's that quote coming from, Bob?
That is a line from the Shawshank Redemption.
Perhaps the most famous line.
Perhaps the most famous line.
Yeah.
Other than I didn't do it.
Yeah. Why am I greeting you with a Shawshank Redemption quote, Bob?
You're a fan?
No, actually, we'll get to that, but no.
Really? The things I learn about you on this show.
Oh, well, no, I'm about to just blow your mind, Bob. I've never seen the movie.
Where's the camera? Did I tell you I once got, picked by Candid Camera? But they didn't use me because I was not very, very exciting. But this seems like I'm on Candid Camera right now because
no, I've never seen the movie.
Wow. Well, it did come out in 1994.
Yeah, it sure did.
So, which is the same year that the comic book that we'll be reviewing.
Yes. We're covering a comic from 1994 today, which also has a little thing about prison in there. So felt it was an appropriate one. But now, are you going to ask me why I've never seen the movie?
I feel like I have to at this point. I think the listeners want to know.
Yeah. There's never been really enough opportunities. It's just not
in the last 40 years. Is it 40 years?
It's not something that's frequently on TV or anything.
Well, yeah, I can see how you might have missed it. Yeah.
No, I think the running joke is it's played like every 4 hours on TBS or something.
Right. You have to get through the Chuck Norris channel, to get to it. But yeah.
I know enough about the movie to understand the movie and understand what happens in the movie. So there's no surprises in it. So really it would be more of a watching it to enjoy the story, right? And the acting, right?
Yeah.
But I also understand what the story is about. And I feel like I have to be in the mood to be depressed.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times when I go to see a movie, it's for escapism.
Yeah.
Like to get, I want to get away from stress or other things. And so
do you think it's a depressing movie? Is it just the whole prison vibe?
I think, is the prison vibe not depressing?
Well, I mean it's no Green Mile. Like that's
okay.
That's like a sad movie, right?
Yeah. I know that there's, some hopeful scenes in there, but they also say, hope is a dangerous thing, and right. I mean, that's another quote from the movie. Yeah. So, I just kind of have to be prepared to put myself in a situation where all right, I'm probably gonna ruin my night.
All right. Well, it's I would say it's between the Green Mile and Caged Women in terms of prison movies. So somewhere on that spectrum, right in there. So
yeah. I'm probably going to get a whole bunch of
you will.
People are going to make fun of me in the Facebook group.
And deserve it, but it does have some great actors, some great acting.
I love those guys. The top
movie.
2 actors in it are amazing.
So, yeah.
What about you? What are some famous, like hugely popular movies that you've never seen?
I can't really think of it. I mean, I've obviously missed, Oscar-winning movies or Golden Globe-winning movies. None of them ring a bell. More of a music guy, right? There's lots of people. Oh, you haven't heard that album? I'm like, no, I've never listened to that band, sort of thing. Like, I'm not a Beatles guy, right? So I can tell you that I have not listened to a lot of Beatles albums.
Yeah.
And people would be, like, what? Right?
Well, people from a certain age, that's for sure. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Not my age, but yeah.
I got another movie gonna blow your mind that I've never seen.
All right.
Right? Okay. Top Gun.
You never felt the need for speed?
No, no,
Really?
no.
You never close your eyes? None of those things?
Oh, oh, listen.
Gosh.
Here's an embarrassing story. So
Yeah.
the summer that Top Gun came out, I was at the age where I was cruising for chicks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I was walking the boardwalk in
Uh-huh.
Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
I know it well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm there with a couple guys that I knew, and we would be walking, looking to meet some, um, some girls our age that perhaps maybe were there on vacation, and and there was a couple of getting on knees and singing "You
Oh,
Never
no.
Close Your," because Top Gun was huge at that time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
It was,
embarrassing.
it was so embarrassing.
Yeah, in retrospect, that's the sort
Yeah.
of thing. Cringy, cringy. Yeah.
Oh, it was very cringy. Very, very cringy. I
Oh
have a
my
feeling I have just really disappointed so many people.
well, I don't think
Uh,
you've disappointed them at all, Rick. I think you've tickled them. So, are you listening, gentlemen, ladies?
uh, uh,
Yeah.
well, I do feel like when you and I just get together and talk, it's almost like a therapy session, Bob,
Sure. Yeah.
right? Like some of the
Right.
things that we share
Yeah.
that just, happens that goes
Yeah.
out into the world that people can have for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, never saw Top Gun.
Yeah. Right. Well, good. Wow. I don't know where to go after that. So, anyway, how's your week going?
Oh, it's going great. I'm struggling right now because I'm exhausted, and we're
Mm,
recording this a little bit later than we normally do. So I'm trying to get my second wind. I feel like if Steve Rogers can do this all day, then I can too.
mm,
So um, I will say, because if you're listening to this on the date it comes out, which is April 16th. I originally wanted to do a story that tied into like taxes because taxes were due yesterday in the
mm.
United States, and I knew there was a storyline that was involved with Steve Rogers and taxes, and I knew it was like a Mark Gruenwald thing, and I posted it in the Facebook group, and man, they do not disappoint, right? Like if you have a question about something, somebody somebody knows about it, and I posted about. I was like, what was the story? And like, boom, all these different answers, and including we got like a whole bunch of them from J. Richard Stevens. You remember him?
Oh, I sure do. Dr. Stevens? Of course I remember
Yeah,
him.
yeah. He was a guest on our show, episode 47, back in the day. If anybody wants to check that out. So yeah, author, doctor, philosopher, you name it. But overall, cap enthusiast and dare say expert. Um, yeah, he shared a whole bunch of stuff. So unfortunately, like all the stories that had something to do with taxes, we've already covered.
We did it. We did
So
it.
so
Yeah.
we were struggling, Bob, you and me, to come up with
Yeah.
another story to do today. And I was like, well, we got to do something that's one episode. I mean, one
Right.
issue, so it
One
could be,
issue.
not take forever.
Yeah.
And
And there aren't as many as you might think,
right,
you know?
right. And I threw out there like, the Mark Gruenwald era. And I'm gonna read a little something here that you responded with. Is that all right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, um, you said, did you settle on a book for tonight? Now, this is at 1:30 in the afternoon, right? And we're
Yeah.
recording this 6.5 hours later. And we both have jobs and we're working and everything like that. And I said, I've struggled finding something short and fun, any one-shots from the Gru era. And you said, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Have we done 424 yet?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And then maybe 438. And I said, well, neither yet. I think 424 is a one shot, and 438 kicks off a long story. So at 537, 537? I think it's 537. I said, I'll be home in an hour. I haven't seen 424, but if you have and want to do it, that's cool with me. And you said, it's a WW2 story by Roy Thomas, but it's the first meeting between Namor and Cap. Now, I'm driving at this time. I'm driving home, and I'm freaking out because I specifically said in recent episodes,
I know you did.
I am done with World War II for a while.
Yeah.
And here you are suggesting a World War II story,
well,
which didn't make sense because 424, the issue we're covering tonight, is not the Roy Thomas. That was 423.
I was off by one number. Yeah, it's a time zone shift.
So when you originally introduced 424 as an idea, were you thinking the Namor story?
I was thinking 423.
Why would you suggest a World War II story to me?
Well, because if we back up, we talked about the last time offline, we talked about a number of options for the night because we were like, what are we going to do for tonight? Right. And in fact, the last episode that we recorded over the weekend. And so we said, oh, well, here, we could do this, we could do this. And you're like, none of those are really, ringing my bell. Let's sit on this a little bit and think about it. So here it is, 1:30 in the afternoon. And I'm like, I'm racking my head trying to think of like, where is there a one issue story? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we're both, as you said, we're both working, a lot going on today. And I'm like, well, there is that one issue. That's kind of a cool story. And I'm like, well, if we're pressed, we got to pick something. And it's from the 90s. So, I know you're,
but that's the whole point. Like we just did the Guardians of Freedom, whatever,
Rick,
right? And that was a 2000 story that takes place in World War II.
I'm
right?
just saying.
I don't
at some
care
point,
when
you're going to
run
out of one shots, buddy.
I don't care when it was written. I am done with World War II stories.
Yeah. Well, I probably didn't write you because I probably was like, nah, he doesn't have it. And I thought, well, we could do that new Captain America and Volstagg story.
Oh yeah, I haven't read that yet.
That's really good.
Yeah,
it's a really nice story. So, but I figured you hadn't picked it up yet. So, and it's not on unlimited yet. So, yeah. So I don't know. We were just pressed for. We should do like a bat signal in this, like a cap shield signal in the sky to like have folks like, oh, they're in trouble. We got to get them a story to do for tonight's show, sort of thing.
Yeah. So I actually this morning I went before going to work. I went through like 25 years worth of Cap books, just kind of looking through. I'm like, where's where? And I came across the one we're covering tonight.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's a one shot, but I don't remember what's in there. And then when you suggested 424, I was like, yeah. And anyway, so I'm driving.
You must have influenced me.
It's a World War II story by Roy Thomas, but it's the first meeting between Namor and Cap. And I wrote back, not that one.
Yeah, you did. There was just 3 words, actually.
And I'm sitting there at a red light. And I'm
Not
like,
even a smiley emoji.
I'm like, no, because I'm like, I don't have much time. I'm in a red light. And then I go to Marvel Fandom and I look up 424. And I'm like, this one, here's the link.
All right. Well, see, I typed 424, even though I meant 423. And it's probably because you had psychically influenced me with your going through your issues that morning. So
yeah,
I meant to.
Well, I just wanted to get back to Cap versus a supervillain. Just something simple. Because listen, we've talked about this before. There's the super soldier, there's the superhero, there's a
Mm-hmm.
super agent, and my favorite is a superhero. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like we do the superhero very much.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back to that.
All right. All right. Well, like I said, though, we're going to have to, maybe we should, solicit some ideas from the listeners, because one shots are few and far between. At some point, we're going to have to start getting into
I know.
the weightier stories, right? Unless we branch off and do a bunch of one shots or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
I'm with you. I mean,
yeah,
we're running out of the Burn Stern era.
yeah,
We're getting low on the DeMatteis Zek era.
mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, yeah. Uh, we're yeah. But well, I mean, there's so many good stories out there, but the problem is there's so many that are long.
Yeah, they're long. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before we get into tonight's uh, story, uh, if people are again listening when this comes out on April 16th, that is on the March Madness Cap Madness bracket, the last day of the Sweet 16, and then on Friday the 18th we're kicking off our Elite 8. Now, we don't know this far in advance who the Elite 8 are, but if everything worked out the way you think it's going to work out, Bob, who's your Elite 8? I got mine here, and I want to see if mine and yours are the same.
You have to forgive me, Rick. The technical term, the Elite Eight. Am I to presume it's four on either side?
Yes. So
The top four on either side.
yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So on the friend, partner, ally side,
Mm-hmm.
this probably isn't going to come as a surprise to anybody. Maybe, I don't know, but Sam Wilson and Nick Fury for sure.
Already we don't agree.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And also this, we probably may not agree here either. Bucky Barnes
Uh-huh.
and Isaiah Bradley.
We don't agree on that either. Oh
Well,
my goodness.
there we have it.
Oh, I have Sam Wilson
Yeah.
versus John Walker.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Because yeah, I got John Walker making it through round 2, making it to round 3.
All right.
And then, dude, how can you
No.
put
No.
Isaiah over Diamondback?
Nope. Nope. I don't find her that interesting. Honestly,
Well,
I know.
this
Tom,
isn't
sorry,
who you
Tom.
like.
Yeah. Well, it
It's
is.
who you think is going to win. I've been predicting. Like, who are you predicting is going to make it?
Look, I am predicting based on my feelings about who makes an interesting story. Right?
All right.
Who makes a story more interesting? And look, Diamondback's an interesting character, but she's been done, It's kind of like Bernie, right? I mean, you can spice Bernie up, right? But Bernie is Bernie. Diamondback, Rachel's Rachel, right? Yeah, but there's a lot to plumb in some of these other characters, and so it's like Sharon. I'm like, I like Sharon. Sharon fulfills a certain role, but at a certain point, you can like slap a mask on her, right? A destroyer mask, and take it up a notch or something. But at the end of the day, it doesn't add a lot of excitement, So,
our listeners, do you hear this? Bob's like totally throwing out any of the love interests. He's like, bunch of dames. Who needs them?
Well,
right?
It's just a distraction for Steve. So, yeah.
All right. All right. All right. So, what do you have as your Elite 8
all right.
on the
I bet
side?
we're in closer alignment here, I would expect. So I'm going with Baron Helmet Zemo.
Yep.
And Red Skull.
Yep.
No surprises there. And then Arnim Zola and Dr. Faustus.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
John is not.
I know. And I love Batroc Zilipa. And I particularly think that one shot Batroc story was a very good one. Because it had a little depth of character. They had one of those for Crossbones too, that sort of looked at a different angle of who he was. And I wish, writers would do more with those two characters. But I also think Dr. Faustus has a lot of potential. We've seen him in many different plots. And I really think Brubaker did a very, very nice job, really, plumbing just what a psychiatrist can do. Right.
I agree.
And I think there's a lot more there that could be done with Faustus. So I think he's interesting.
I agree. I mean, he's not favored to win in round one. He is an underdog to Flag Smasher. I have him.
Incredible.
I have him beating Flag Smasher.
Yeah.
But I have him losing to Batroc. So for me, it's Zola and Batroc. So we are only in agreement on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the eight remaining characters. It would be interesting to see who is correct and who is not. That's the fun part of it.
Interesting. It would be really good if they turned Batroc into an ally for a while. That would be interesting.
Yes, but you would always expect at some point he would turn because the money's there or something.
Yeah, or do the same thing with Diamondback, right? Turn her evil again.
No.
Yeah, get her together with Viper. Let's go, people.
No. Gosh, no. Are you hearing this? All right. I am so glad that we had this conversation because I feel like all of the attention is going to be taken off of me and my Top Gun and other things and everything's going to rain down.
This is all going into my application package to be assistant editor to Alana Smith. I'm going to shake things up over there at Marvel. So.
All right, let's get to today's issue.
All right.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're going to love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Oh, look at this. Look, right behind it is the one you really wanted.
There it is. Look at that cover, man.
And it's the one story.
Someday.
It's the one story that Mark Gruenwald didn't do in a course of 10 years.
Yeah.
And you want to pick that one. I go, hey, what's in the Gru era? And you're like, hey, our Roy Thomas story.
It was in the era.
Ugh.
Loophole.
All right, let's get to this. Bob, $1.25 gets you this back in 1994. It was actually, I take that back. It is the cover date of 1994, but the story actually had a release date of December 7th, 1993. So in Christmas of 1993, what were you doing? You were picking up Captain America 424 for $1.25.
Wow.
Do you want to take the listeners through the cover?
Yeah. So it's an interesting cover, right? Because in the background, we see sort of a shadow, not a shadow, but it's sort of a muted one color of Sidewinder. And he looks angry, right? He's got a briefcase in one hand. It looks like one of those satchels that you carry money in when you rob a train. And then one hand is clenched, and he's got
when you rob a train, the satchel you carry around. When you rob a train.
When you rob a train, you see cowboys with and they grab the satchel off the stagecoach. Maybe I guess I meant stagecoach when they robbed the stage. I watch a lot of Grit TV. So in any case, we got Sidewinder in the background, but in the foreground, we have Captain America, and he seems to be struggling with 4 individuals. One guy's behind him, and he's got his arms wrapped around Cap's torso, and Cap's got one guy lifted up into the air with his right hand, and then there's 2 guys, one with a knife, another one with a handgun, coming at Cap. And he's got a ridiculous look on his face that I can't. Every time I look at this,
he's gritting his teeth.
He is, but it has a little bit. It feels a little bit Hembecky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is a little cartoony.
It is a little cartoony, right?
It is a little cartoony.
But it's a cool cover, right?
Yeah.
And but I don't know about this Captain America logo that we're seeing at the top. The title.
It's red, white, and blue.
Yeah, but there's something about that space between the P and the T of Captain that bugs me.
Is it any different than any? No, it's the same space as it has been.
Maybe it's just the white, that is throwing me off.
I don't know. This one shows that color makes it a pop even more.
All right, you're going to bring up 423 again. Okay. Just throw that in my face. Okay.
Oh, hey, look. Oh, here's 411 with the same space.
All right. I don't know. But you see it's got some different colors behind it. I think on the white background, it just throws me off. It looks like there's a space there that doesn't need to be there.
Wow. And that is the extent of your covering the cover. All right.
That's it. Yeah.
Had a stagecoach reference and everything.
Yeah,
so it's the art is by Phil Gosier and Danny Bellondi. Now, Danny, we've heard his name for a while, right? He's inked on the Captain America books for quite some time, but Phil Gosier, it's Gosier. I'm assuming it's Gosier or Gosier. I don't know, but that name is unfamiliar to Captain America fans, and the reason being is that he is new to doing comics, period. This is only the second comic book he's ever done.
Interesting.
Yeah, and not only did he do the interiors, he's doing the cover. That's unheard of for somebody who is absolutely new. Now, that's an editorial decision right there.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, the editor for this one is Mike Rockwitz. Now, Mike is a member of our Captain America Facebook group.
There is.
And he also joined us to talk about his couple years stint as Captain America editor during the early to mid 90s. So if you want to check that out, it was episode 56. And man, what a tell-all tale interview, right? No holds barred.
Sure, yeah. He was happy to spill the beans or spill the tea. What is that? Share the tea, spill the beans? I get my metaphors mixed up.
Yeah. So anyway, he's the editor, and so he obviously made the decision to bring Phil in. Now, why did he bring Phil in? Well, that was because he fired Rick Levins. That's another thing that he talks about in episode 56. He wasn't a fan of Rick Levins' artwork and fired him. And so there's a couple of these fill-in issues while they're getting the next long-term artist. Do you remember who that is?
I can't remember. Was it Neary?
No, Neary was after Zach.
All right. I don't remember.
Next issue 425 kicks off the long run of Dave Hoover.
Oh, yeah. I should know that. I got a big Dave Hoover poster here hanging up in the office.
Yeah. And I have a Dave Hoover t-shirt thanks to you.
That's right.
So the other creators on the book, the writer, Mark Gruenwald, and then inker is Romeo Tangall. Now, Romeo had been around for a while. He actually had inked George Perez on the new Teen Titans for quite some time. So that's where I know his name from. Colorist George Rossos, letterer Joe Rosen. Now, Joe's lettering in this book is a little to be desired. I there's some things on here that I found interesting in the way it was lettered. Definitely a 90s lettering. And then the main editor, Mike Rockwitz is the editor, but the group editor is Ralph Macchio.
Do it. There you go.
So we open up this first page here. It's a big, gigantic splash. And it is really, it stands out. Like you automatically know, like, this is a different artist.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest with you. When I saw this issue, I was a little excited at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't read this since back then in 1994.
Sure.
So
yeah.
It's my first time back reading this. But I do recall being very excited because, again, I wasn't a fan of Rick Levins either.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this artwork and I was like, ooh, I like this much better than Rick Levins. Mm-hmm. It's not like amazingly, great. It's not but it was a nice breath of fresh air from Rick Levins.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. And the title to this one, Bob, is
The Last Operation.
So we see Steve Rogers in his Captain America gear, standing, and jumping up into his arms is the character that Bob doesn't like. Diamondback.
Oh, and now I'm looking into if Tom shows up at my house.
And she is in his arms. She's got her arms wrapped around his neck. He's got his arms wrapped around her back. She's got the one leg bent, the high heels, the short miniskirt. But the big smiles on both their faces, to me, is what really stands out in this image.
Yeah, it is nicely done. I have to say, it's a pretty impressive splash page. There's a lot of emotion going on in here, and it's just nicely rendered. It's like you said. I mean, it's a little dodgy. Some of the art in this book is a little dodgy, but if you think like this is the first go at Captain America and these characters, right? I mean, once you've done 10, 12, 15 of issues, you've got it down, right? But this is first go around. He does a really nice job on this first splash.
He does. Now look at and Cap yells out Rachel, and Rachel yells out Steve. But look at the lettering where he says Rachel. That's just off.
It is. Yeah. It's not like, precise, right?
Right. Like it's too. The letters are too big. The font is too big for the. No, he didn't. He just purposely did that. But for Steve, which he yells Steve, that is staying in the word bubble. So it just throws me off.
Okay. All right. Well.
All right, Joe, you're on alert as we go through this. So we turn the page, and they're no longer. She's no longer in his arms, but they are still embracing and looking at each other with big smiles. So, how are you feeling? Happy. I felt so guilty leaving you there in Wakanda in the state you were in. So what were you supposed to do? Wait by my bedside for 3 weeks, twiddling your thumbs till I crawled out of my coma? I know you have the world to save, Steve. Well, anyway, thanks for being so understanding. You're sure you're okay? The Wakanda doctors ran a whole battery of tests on me before they shipped me back to the States. Thanks probably to the super soldier blood in me, I'm a remarkable healer. Now, Bob, do you recall her getting the super soldier?
Yeah, he gave her a transfusion at some point, but I can't remember the issue it was in.
So now she has that in her. So what's going on? What's new? I'm moving out of Avengers Mansion here to a place all my own. Really? When? I'm starting the move today. Wow. I wonder what happened to my old place. I haven't paid rent in over 6 months. Oh, well, anywhere, even the street is better than a hospital. Now, seems to me she's like dropping a big old hint.
Wherever will I stay?
Yeah. Oh, you have a new place? Oh, your own place? I think I'm on the I'm on the street here. All right. Now, to your point about some hits and misses in Phil's art, this page I think exemplifies this.
Right. Well, I think some of it's serviceable, right? But this
no, but hits and misses. I think
hits
this
and
page has
misses,
hits and misses,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, a hit is that first panel.
Absolutely.
Like Cap standing there.
Yeah.
I mean, the shield is perfect.
It is. Yeah.
It's the perfect size, strapped to his back. The muscles, the way they're holding each other, his size versus her size, like perfectly drawn.
Yep.
Then you get to the second panel, and it looks like Cap's talking to a little girl.
He is huge. He is. He's drawn big here. Yeah.
But she's even smaller.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the archway that he's
yeah.
in, he's not so huge that he's like touching the ceiling.
Yeah.
But it looks really tiny compared to him.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here comes the next one.
Yeah.
I'm going to tread carefully here, Bob.
Okay. All right.
In this third panel.
Oh, all right.
Now, to our listeners, I suggest maybe going to our YouTube or maybe Spotify video, and maybe you could see this and judge this image yourself. It didn't occur to me that in this third panel, where she says, "So what's going on? What's new?"
Mm-hmm.
Until I saw this, and maybe this was a few years ago, maybe like a Reddit stream, where somebody pointed out that the back of Cap's head and neck resembles something.
I would not have seen that unless you had drawn my attention to it.
But now you can't unsee it.
Now you can't unsee it. Oh, my.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Same thing for me. I was like on this Reddit thing, and someone's like, here's a picture, and they're like, oh my God, did you see what this guy drew in the back of Cap's head?
It's not a butterfly. So, folks, you got to check it out.
Oh, my. All right. So we cut to the next. It's like I said, hit and misses. We cut to the next page, and it's 40 blocks downtown. And here we have, maybe 30-something, 40-ish old man sitting in a hospital next to a young girl in a hospital bed, and he is reading a story to her. And how would you describe this man?
Well, he's wearing a cardigan. Reminds me of a Dumb and Dumber quote, but anyway.
Also from 1994.
Also from 19, but he's wearing a cardigan with a collared shirt underneath, and he's a middle-aged guy, and he's balding, so he does have some hair around his, the crown of his head, I guess. Is that what you call it? He's
not balding. He's bald.
Well, no, he's got hair on the sides of his head.
Dude, that's bald.
Oh, okay. I don't know the technical term.
No. When you no longer have hair on the top of your head, that's bald.
Okay. Well, he's bald then, but not Yul Brynner bald, right? And then he's got a mustache. So,
well, all right. Let's back up here. So, you see me, you would look at me and go bald, right?
Yep, you're bald. Yeah.
Right. Well, that was because a couple hours ago I shaved my head.
All right.
If you had seen me, my hair on the side of my head, I could have it grow out and be very long if I wanted to. Yeah, it would look horrendous.
Oh, I know, that would be awesome.
No, no.
Like mad scientist, awesome.
Yeah. But most bald men are in that situation.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah, but they trim the rest because when you have hair on the side of your head, it just really points out how bald you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. I'll take your word for it. So the accurate description is this gentleman's bald, and he's got a mustache, and he's wearing a cardigan.
But he does have hair on the sides of his head.
Yeah,
but that is something to point out because it's a look. It's a distinctive look.
Yeah, he does remind me of somebody. I can't put my finger on it. Some actor,
Mark Gruenwald.
Oh, you're right.
He looks like Mark Gruenwald. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, you're right. He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Patchwork Girl said, "You can't prove Ojo took the clover, so why don't you just let him go?" Ozma replied, "Sweetie, are you tired? Do you want Daddy to stop so you can get some rest? You be a good girl. Get some rest, and I'll continue the story tomorrow, okay?" "Okay, Daddy." "I'll bring you a surprise back." "What?" "It's a surprise." So he kisses her on the forehead and he leaves. And out in the hallway, "Dr. Clendening, I need to talk to you about my daughter." "Oh, Mr. Volker. As I told your what? Ex-wife." Yes, your ex-wife. There's a procedure we can do, a brain operation, which is successful in controlling the seizures in about 80% of the cases. The problem is, it's very expensive. And according to your ex-wife, your health insurance has lapsed. Schedule the operation, doctor. I'll find a way to pay for it. I swear to you. Somehow. And then he starts to zap out of, while the doctor's walking away, he doesn't notice. He zaps out. We turn the page, and we're back to Steve Rogers in his civilian apparel in the Avengers headquarters. And he looks like he's packing up his room. "All this time I've lived here, slept in this room. It's never really felt like home to me. I don't feel any real connection to this place. It's like I've always considered it a temporary quarters. Was anywhere felt like home to me? Or is my mind so filled with ideology I have no room for simple, ordinary sentiments?" And then who's that knocking on the door?
And that is the Black Widow.
Yeah, and what outfit is she wearing?
Well, she's got that gray one from this time frame with the spider on her left breast.
Yeah, it's the same outfit that she had in the Streets of Poison.
Right. Yeah.
And she knocks and she walks through because his door was open. "We really don't have to do this, you know. The packing or the leaving. Neither. We can work something out. I'm sure we could, Natasha. But I feel like I need my own space again, separate from the Avengers. I'm a grown man, and I've got to leave the nest eventually. Most of the other members have their own places, including you. Okay, do whatever you have to do, but remember that you're always welcome back. Thanks, Mom. Oh, did I hear that Diamondback was back?" "Yes, and I put her to work. She's downstairs helping Fabian sort through his disaster area. I hope everything works out between you. She's a good kid." "Yeah. Who's Fabian, Bob?"
That's Fabian Stankovitz, one of Cap's sort of employees or friend/employee. He's sort of the techno guy. If you remember when we did Streets of Poison, he got addicted to ice and was a bit of a problem, had to be let go until he could get himself cleaned up again. But he's been with Cap for a while.
Yeah, he sure has. He didn't make the cut to the final 16 for our bracket as Cap
Yeah.
allies. But he got a few votes. So a half hour later, and Cap goes down to Fabian's quote-unquote disaster room. And both Fabian and Rachel are wearing a jumpsuit. What's that look like?
Well, it's a brown jumpsuit. Looks a lot like the Ghostbusters, except this has the Avengers A on each side, each arm up near the shoulder.
It does look like the Ghostbusters
Yeah.
jumpsuit. Yeah, you're right. Done upstairs. How's it going down here? Oh, it's going fine. If you happen to be a mind reader and can predict where Fabian wants everything packed. Hey, Fabe, where's this go? Just set it down. I haven't decided yet. I see what you mean. Bzz. Steve, a phone call from you from someone claiming to be Sidewinder. Do you want to take it? Okay, mademoiselle. Who's mademoiselle, Bob?
That would be Peggy.
Yeah. So a middle-aged, perhaps maybe over middle-aged Peggy Carter in the comics these days.
At that point.
So Cap goes over to the intercom. Captain America here. This is Sidewinder. Can you prove it? The Serpent Society headquarters where we last met was a mental hospital near Pauley, New York, with the name Seth Volker on the deed. What do you want? I need to meet you in person. It's a matter of life and death. All right. Where? Next page. We don't find where it doesn't. It just skips to now Cap's running off. Be back in a bit. But Rachel says, wait, let me come with you. Rachel, before I take you on my missions with me, we have to talk about what happened in the Savage Land. How you happened to crash that sky cycle. Okay. Where did that happen, Bob?
That was in issue 417.
Yeah. Rachel's like, oh no, if I tell him, he'll never trust me again. Okay, but this really isn't a mission. It's just a conversation. 34th Street and 7th Avenue, a half hour later, and we see Captain America in his uniform, or is he, Bob? It's hard to tell.
It's Steve Rogers in disguise.
Yeah.
It's a double secret disguise.
So he's got his Captain America uniform on, but he's got a trench coat over top of him and a big flappy hat. And he's reading the world's largest newspaper.
It is gigantic, yes. You got his money worth there.
Rachel got me on a technicality. That plus the fact that she knows Sidewinder persuaded me to let her tag along as my backup. I think she was thrown by my asking about that smash-up, but I really need to know what happened. It sure looked to me like she purposely did a kamikaze number on it. Kamikaze, Bob, what is that?
Oh my gosh, that's I know you don't like to talk about World War II, but that was a Japanese tactic to take out ships by dive bombing Japanese Zero aircraft packed with explosives into those ships. So one-way trip.
Yeah, I pointed out because I obviously know what kamikaze is, but
yeah,
it's not a term you hear anymore.
Yeah, just
and here
drink.
it is in 1994. I guess the readers would still kind of know what it was, even though it's 50 years later.
Yeah.
But it isn't really a term we hear much 30 years after this story came out.
Right. No, you're right. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of young readers probably may not be familiar with that term anymore if they pick this up.
Yeah. And then appearing out of nowhere is
Sidewinder.
Captain America, I presume. Better stop my mind from wandering. Sidewinder just may try to pull something on me with his teleportation tricks. Sidewinder. And Sidewinder is now in a his costume, and how would you describe what he is wearing now? He's no longer wearing a cardigan, Bob.
Is not. This is a colorful costume, Rick. It's got a lot of different colors, but he's got a bodysuit on and sort of a blue and sort of a magenta and orange arms, blue gloves, blue gauntlets. He's got a cape that's orange on the outside, yellow on the inside, but he's got sort of it's almost like if you saw a cobra, right, or any of these snakes that have a hood flap over the back of their head. He's got a very large hood flap that comes up around the back of his head. Yeah, and he's sporting that. What's so funny?
I'm just going back to the other page.
Oh. Yeah, and what does he have on the I can't recall what is in the center of his forehead. It looks like a smiley face, except it's an angry face.
Yeah, right.
It's an angry face. Yeah. So
this is no trick. I mean you no harm. Let me get straight to the point. I need to acquire a sum of money. I could commit crimes in order to procure it, but I'd rather not. I've been trying to lead a lawful life these days, and I would prefer not to take any risks. I do not have to. What do you need the money for? A medical procedure. Not for me, but for someone I am very close to, a member of my family. Until Hillary's national health care program goes into effect, I have no medical coverage or insurance. With my credentials, it's hard to get. What kind of money are we talking about here? The operation, convalescence care, therapy, I believe it would come to at least $250,000. That's quite a sum. Will you give me it? I don't have that kind of money, Sidewinder. You could borrow it from the Avengers. Have your accountant write it off as petty cash. That wouldn't be right. Is it right that my daughter has brain seizures? That she spent half her life in hospitals? I'm sorry. No, you'll be sorry when I commit a crime that you could have prevented. Hey, mister, don't try to lay that on. And we turn the page. Bah! Some hero you are, turning your back on a little girl. Side, and he zaps away. And then Rachel comes up. Cap, you used to know him. I need to verify his story. Has he ever mentioned a daughter to you? Are you asking me to portray his confidence? No, I'm asking you to help me help his daughter, if she exists. And then we cut to the South Bronx that night, and Sidewinder is walking down a dark road, but it does have a street lamp, so it's very moody. Am I really going to do this? It's been over a year since I placed myself in the slightest bit of jeopardy. I have to. Here goes. And he teleports into one of these tenants. I'm in. And what did he just zap into, Bob?
Well,
what are we looking at here?
Yeah, I mean it's certainly it's a room someplace, and it's not in very good condition, right? So it's got boarded up walls, and it's unfurnished except for a table. And on the table we see a lot of money, and we see what appears to be a lot of bags of drug. Could be cocaine, could be marijuana, whatever. And there's four guys standing around this table. One of them appears to be the big boss with a very large man at his side, presumably his knuckle dragger, and then two guys trying to explain their way to him.
But you see, Mr. Dinsdale, me and Mariano here are going to give you a cut of the action just as soon as we got done counting it. Get counting now. Yes, sir. And Sidewinder thinks to himself, only four of them. I could take them. I must. And then he throws these, what do you call those, Bob? Smoke pellets? Like, what are they?
Yeah, they look to be some sort of gas canisters. So could be CS, like tear gas.
So he throws that over a couple of them, and it goes off in the room. But they hear him as he's throwing. Hey, who's that? Sidewind, so they can't get a bead on me. And they're all coughing, and he's hiding from them as they're gagging. Some of them still standing. Fall, you idiots! Why don't you fall? Finally, they're all down. Now to move in. I really hate this. That's why I organized the Serpent Society, so I wouldn't have to take these stupid risks. And we turn the page, and he goes up to the table of money. Sure, I wear body armor, but a well-placed high-caliber slug would... money. Not sure how much is here. I'll have to count it when I get home. I just pray there's enough so I don't have to do this again. And he zaps out. At the Avengers headquarters, ooh la la, we get to see Rachel in her Diamondback outfit.
Indeed. Indeed.
And for those who have never seen Rachel before in her Diamondback outfit, Bob, how would you describe that?
Well, it is a very pink, very tight bodysuit. And it's, as I said, did I say it's pink? It's pink. And then she's got sort of a black diamond that is covers her stomach area through her crotch with a pointy bit up through her cleavage area, and then it connects with another upside down triangle that covers her upper torso, and the mask, the half mask. She's got her hair a little bit different here than I think we're used to seeing. It's a very 90s look with sort of one side a little bit shaved and longer on the other side, and then she's got the garters around her thighs that carry her diamond darts.
You've got to appreciate my position, Steve. He may be wanted by the authorities, but he was always very good to me, even saved my life once. I owe it to Sidewinder not to compromise him. I'm not asking you to betray him. All I want is a little information. The Avengers file on him is sketchy at best. Whatever information I give you, you'll use that to put him away, won't you? I just bring them to justice, Rachel. The courts put the guilty away. I'm going to check this daughter ankle, see if there's a patient in the tri-state area who fits the description. Where are you going? I want to follow up something on my own, okay? I'll be in touch. And she walks off. And then we cut to Yerrick Street in Jersey City. Boom. And he teleports into that room. I'm exhausted. Wish I could learn to sidewind more than 10 feet at a jump. All that twisting in and out of space wears me out. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was limited to only 10 feet in his jumps. I assumed it was more than that.
Well, I think it becomes more than that. I did a little research, Rick, because, I like to stay up on these things. And in the Marvel fandom bio, it says that he can jump up to 50 feet. So at least I think that's what I read. So at this point, he's only doing 10-foot jumps, but I don't know why it's limited here.
Yeah, that makes more sense, 50 feet. Because I remember when he zapped people out of the headquarters or out of jail. If he only went 10 feet, he wouldn't be able to really get out. Yeah. So he dumps the money onto the table, and there's a voice coming from off panel. Need help counting that, Seth? Oh. And it's Diamondback, and then it scares him, so he actually zaps and jumps backwards. Diamondback, don't do that to me. Sorry. How'd you get in? I have state-of-the-art security system. Guess I'm better than it. I heard about your problem. I'm friends with Captain America, you know. So how come you never told me you had a family? My wife, my ex-wife, she's not easy for me to talk about. Never really approved of my line of work. Made me feel like such a failure. I can imagine. I'm very glad you're here, Rachel. I am sorely in need of help. I believe I'm going to need more money than what I have, but I have to confess to you, that I've never told you or any of your cronies before. I am a coward. I become petrified at the mere thought of actually engaging in potentially violent situations. Indeed, that is why I organized the Serpent Society all those years ago, so I could use my business skills to make all the plans and have others take the risks. Come on, Seth. I'm out of the game now. I can't assist you without becoming an accessory to your crimes. But I'm only stealing from those who came by their funds illicitly, by preying upon others. Sorry, stealing's stealing. Well, can I at least give you my beeper in case I run into some trouble I can't handle? Sure, if you'll tell me more about your daughter. So then we cut to the daughter, and she's in the hospital bed, and apparently her mother, the ex-wife, is sitting next to her. And then who comes strolling through the door?
I don't know. I can't tell. It's somebody in a trench coat and a big floppy fedora hat.
It is. I was hoping you could tell me, but
but I do see red boots and red gloves. So
maybe it's Cap.
It could be.
Yeah. Excuse me, Mrs. Volker. May I talk to you a minute? You know what? It was him. I could tell by the voice.
Gosh. Yeah, you should call. Somebody should call. I would have called security if this guy had walked in my hospital room.
Bob, I just threw you a tremendous joke. You just let it. I just did the voice of Cap.
I know.
And then said to you, "Oh yeah, it's him." I can tell by the voice, and you just ignored it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, There was a good one. It was good. A lot of folks got a chuckle out there. Just rest assured.
All right. Here, this is for you. And he gives her a teddy bear.
Oh, look at that teddy bear. Look closely at the teddy bear.
He's got like cross-eyed.
He does. It's like, where did you get that teddy bear? This is like a Build-A-Bear reject.
Thank you, mister. You'll let me borrow your mommy a minute? If this is about that no-good husband of mine, I can't help you. When I learned about Seth's illegal activities, I served him with divorce papers. Have you had any contact with your husband in the past few weeks? Yes. I told him he would need to increase his child support payments significantly in order to pay for Amelia's operation. He said he would. How he acquires his money is his business. I simply do not want to know. He asked me for the money, ma'am, but I had no reason to believe he wanted it for what he said he did. Now I do. I'd like to help your daughter, ma'am. But in return, you want me to incriminate Seth. No, thank you, Captain. My ex may have been a lousy husband, but he's a good provider, and I'd be foolish to do anything to jeopardize that, wouldn't I? Well, excuse me. And he has a little message coming in on his recorder, or communicator. Cap, I know where Sidewinder is. Meet me at the pass station on 34th as quick as you can. Have to go, ma'am. I'll be in touch. Don't bother. Next page. Ooh, we got Cap and Diamondback on Cap's motorcycle. That's pretty cool.
And this is the fancy modern motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. And they both got their helmets on. You can tell they're going fast. You know how you can tell, Bob?
The noise?
Well, the speed lines.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say the exhaust, but there isn't really no exhaust.
There's a little bit, yeah.
Then he gave me his beeper and teleported away, and then his beeper went off, and he whispered where he was, and I figured he was hurt, so I called you, and I get the picture, Rachel. Hang on. And then in Lower Manhattan, what is going on in that room, Bob?
There are a lot of guys with guns, and they are shooting at what we presume are locations where Sidewinder once was, because he is furiously teleporting around that room like a nightcrawler, doing some bamps.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you see his... Now, how he teleports, it's the cape that he wears, right? So you see the remnants of the cape in each little bamf, as you point it. For crying out loud, will somebody stop that creep from blinking in and out all over the place? We keep trying, Mr. Henshaw. He must have a dozen slugs in him already. Who is this guy, anyway? The cloak? Yeah, but he's still moving. Who's the cloak, Bob?
I don't know who the cloak is.
Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
And then bursting through the door, we have Cap, and then in front of Cap is Diamondback, and they're both in battle ready poses, and she's leaning forward, and she says, Candy Graham. And Cap whispers, let's not get too overconfident, Rachel. Don't worry about me, boyfriend. I'm as super as you are.
Rick, do you remember the old SNL skit with the land shark?
Yeah.
Candy Graham.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello. Yeah. Something for Mr. Robinson. For who?
Flowers.
Oh yeah, I love this guy. That was Chevy Chase.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. You know what they had in years ago? I want to say 2010. In Five Below, they had these gigantic shark outfits that you could put on. That was like the big plastic thing that that Chevy Chase wore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I
I had one
Five
for
Below.
we got one for work for like some special thing or something. I don't know.
Huh.
And then Cap and Diamondback are going into it and just fighting these hoodlums with their weapons. I trust all of you have permits for these handguns. You could save yourself a lot of trouble if you produce them. What are you looking at, buttface? And then Rachel thinks to herself, Seth's teleporting around at random. He once told me that the teleport chip planted in his brain is programmed to do that when he's injured. Seth, we're here. You boys think guns make you pretty tough, huh? Not quite. Toughness means a strong mind and a strong body, resisting weak thoughts and selfish acts. I like that.
It's a nice turn of phrase there. Yeah.
All right. As if a few words are going to turn these drug dealers' lives around. Whoa! Morgan was right. They do have Cap and freaking America down here. We take them down, we'll be big, big, big. Now, Bob, I don't know if the thought went through your head, but he said Morgan was right. Do you think it's that Morgan?
I don't know. I wondered that as well. Is this Harlem Morgan?
I don't know.
Yeah. Could be.
Could be. Reinforcements. Great. This crew was getting tired. Upsy. And he picks a guy over his head and he throws him. What happened to me? My arm suddenly gave out. Feel like lead. This happened to me a few days ago when I was fighting that madman Ballistic. When did that happen, Bob?
It was a couple issues ago.
Yeah, it'd be 422. Did we cover that one? I feel like we did.
I feel like we covered Ballistic. Yeah.
Or at least he made it to a top 10 list.
He did make it to a top 10. We did discuss him in top 10.
Seth, it's me, Diamondback. If you don't stop teleporting, I can't help you. Seth, listen to me, will you? Body feels like it weighs a ton, but I can't let on to these thugs, or they'll take advantage of it. What's with me lately? I better get myself a checkup. That is what they call foreshadowing.
Indeed. Indeed.
Because next issue, 425, he gets the checkup. And that kicks off the Fighting Chance storyline.
Yes.
Seth, seriously, quit moving or we'll never be able to get you out of here. Think of Amelia, Seth. Amelia. I think he heard me. His image is stabilized. I'm coming. And he comes up, she comes up to him, but she's seeing, and instead of him, who is she seeing?
Snapdragon.
And who is Snapdragon, Bob?
So Snapdragon is she's one of the Japanese baddies, right? I can't remember her name.
Mm-hmm.
Sokoa something something. In any case, a few issues back, Diamondback thinks she drowned her.
Well, it was more than a few issues back, but yeah.
14, 414, something like that, maybe 413, 414.
And so Snapdragon is there saying, "Tell him about me, or I will never leave you alone." Snapdragon? But and then it actually ends up being Sidewinder. "You came for me." Yeah. I got your call. You hurt? Somewhat. They were ready for me somehow. Started shooting. I panicked. Got hit a few times. Passed out, I guess. Couldn't get out of the building. Wait, you brought him? You didn't expect me to take on a crack house gang of an unknown number all by myself, did you? Get real, Seth. And soon, after Cap makes short work of them all, "He's okay, Cap. He took a few slugs, but his body armor took the brunt of them. We meet again, thanks to our mutual friend." "That's right. You're not going to let me take the money, are you? It's state's evidence." "Then there's no hope for my daughter." "Yes, there is, Mr. Volker, if you make a deal with me." "What deal?" "You turn yourself in and face the due process of the law, and I'll see to it that your daughter gets full medical coverage." "Can it wait until my daughter's surgery is done?" "No. I turn you in now. I get Amelia's medical coverage now." "You know her name?" "She's a sweet little girl. You must be proud. So what's it going to be? More thefts with me dogging your tracks and staking out your daughter's hospital? Or the more courageous way? Perhaps even jail would be better than to have to undergo another night like this." We turn the page, and we're now a half an hour later, and walking out of the building with the police there and others, Cap is turning over Sidewinder to the authorities. "Good evening, officers. I have a bonus catch of the night. A fellow who's managed to elude the long arm of the law for years." "A vault truck already?" "I put in a call to the vaults before I came. Optimistic, hmm? What's the vault, Bob?"
That is a special prison for supervillains.
Hmm. "Remember now, go quietly. Have your day in court for your various activities as head of the Serpent Society. Who knows? You might even be acquitted." "Not if you testify against me." "We'll see. Your daughter will get the finest medical care possible. You have my word." Turn the page. "Where will you get the money for the girl's operation?" "I have a number of well-off friends I can hit up for a worthy cause." "You've been interested in putting Sidewinder away for a long time, huh?" "No, I've been interested in bringing him to justice. There's a difference." "I guess." "Cap, Steve, seeing Seth make a tough decision has, well, inspired me. I've got to tell you something. If I don't get this off my chest, it's going to prevent us from ever getting any closer. I just know it." "Go on." "You asked me how it was I crashed the Sky Cycle into Terminus, right? Well, I'll tell you. It's because I was hallucinating. It happened several times before and one time since, just tonight. I've been imagining that Snapdragon, the woman who once nearly drowned me, has been haunting me. Because I killed her." Turn the page. "Killed her? Why do you say that?" "Because when I caught up with her on Aim Island, we fought, and I held her head underwater till she stopped moving, and I left her that way." "Oh." "I'll check with S.H.I.E.L.D. and see if they can verify her death." And if it turns out to be true, I guess that's it for us, huh? You could never love a murderer, could you? If it turns out to be true, I suggest you stand trial in a court of law. But no matter what happens, Rachel, I want you to know I'll be at your side all the way. And then she puts her hands around him and vice versa. And you will? I can't presume to judge you. I don't know what you went through. But I do know you're basically a good person. You've more than earned my support. Oh, Steve.
Basically.
Last page, epilogue, 3 weeks later. And there's little Amelia sitting in the bed, but with a little head wrapped around, and her mom's there, and Cap's there to talk with her. I've got a surprise for you, Amelia. What? What's in there? A video game? You'll see. And he opens up the case, and what is it?
Oh my God, it's Seth Volker, her father, in his prison attire.
He's in the case?
It's a video screen. Sorry.
Oh, it's a video screen.
Yeah.
Okay, you left that part out.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Amy, it's me, your dad. Daddy, where are you? Remember the book I was reading you? The Patchwork Girl of Oz? And how the Munchkin boy was put in jail for committing a crime to help his uncle? Yeah? Well, I'm in jail for committing crimes to help you. Don't worry, though. I'll be okay. How are you doing, sweetie? I'm fine, Daddy, but they shaved off all my hair. I get to wear pretty hats till it grows back, though. Oh, and the doctor said I'm not going to get seizures anymore. That's wonderful, sweetie. I wish I could be there to give you a hug. But I've got to be here for a while. They're telling me I have to go now, Amy. Think of me sometimes, okay? Of course I will. You're the best daddy in the whole world.
Except for that guilt trip you just laid on me.
I know. Yeah, I am in jail because I was doing something for you.
Yeah, no, deal with that.
What a horrible dad.
Go see Dr. Faustus over that one.
Yeah, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, there's the story. What'd you think, Bob?
Oh,
I know it's no 423.
It is no 423. And wasn't during the golden 40s, but it was a good story, right? I mean, it does tug at your heartstrings a little bit, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, a guy trying to redeem himself, having a hard time, right? Sad commentary on the unavailability of healthcare. What was that, 1994, and we're still, struggling with those same issues. So some things are always the same, but it was fun, right? Yeah, I think it was a good story. Good. I think it was a good selection.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story. Listen, I like Rachel. Unlike you, I know you hate Rachel. But I like seeing stories with Rachel and Steve. I think they're a good dynamic together. She is not his type, but he obviously cares for her, and so I like the dynamic. I like what it brings out of Steve Rogers. And then Sidewinder's an interesting character. Now here's the thing. So I was looking up Sidewinder, and his first appearance was in 1980. There's a 3-part story in Marvel 2-in-1. And then 5 years later, Mark Gruenwald brings him into Captain America's world in Captain America 308. And that's when they have the whole Serpent Society type story, and that's where the Rachel is introduced in 310. And then here it is, I don't know, maybe like 20. So this may be like the 20th appearance of Sidewinder, but at this point in 1994, it kind of feels like he's been around a while.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's a well-known character, and certainly one that has made the jump to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well in an incarnation. So
yeah,
a favorite.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I enjoyed the story for those
Yeah.
purposes. This scratched the itch of Captain America, the superhero, versus a supervillain with Diamondback thrown in and some new art. So I enjoyed this one.
Well, good. Yeah, there's a lot to like in this issue. So for folks who haven't picked it up in a while, you should. Well, obviously you're listening to the episodes, but hopefully you'll pick up this book and read it again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Bob, you go first. Do you have a favorite panel?
Oh, you know I do, Rick. So I gotta go. I gotta go with I think it's around page 7 or so. Might be 6. But it's when Steve is disguised in his trench coat and fedora, and Sidewinder whoops in next to him. And I love this look. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But the trench coat and the fedora over the Captain America uniform, but it has a whole, at least the way it's been illustrated here, it has a whole Denny Colt, Will Eisner, the Spirit vibe to it that I really appreciate. And so
it's the hat.
It's the hat, but it's also, that mask. Because the Spirit has the mask as well, not the whole face mask, but covering the eyes. So it's given off that vibe, which of course the Spirit, another golden age hero. So
I also like the fact that in that panel you just picked out, the newspaper magically shrunk to half the size it was from the previous panel.
Right, that world's largest newspaper. Yeah. They do have newspapers. I've seen newspapers that size in some places around the world. You got to wonder who's got time to read it.
Sure.
So, how about yourself? You got a favorite panel?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with page 18, and the very first panel, which is Cap and Rachel on the motorcycle. I think that's, listen. Phil, his time in drawing comics was very, very short. This was the second comic he's ever done. And so this is December of 93 when he did this one, and he barely lasted maybe 3 more years in doing comics. He did a short little run on G.I. Joe, and then he did a run for DC on Steel Comics and a few other fill-ins. So he not a ton of comics, but it shows something, his ability to show vehicle, like a motorcycle.
Sure, yeah.
And it's just a cool angle looking up at them a little bit, and they're leaning. They got the 2 helmets on. It's a pretty cool image.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he did great with the motorcycle, but he's also got some great action panels in this particular book. So it would have been nice if he'd had a little more time on the book, maybe been able to refine his technique with these characters, might have really surprised us.
Yeah. Well, I think some Diamondback fans really like this issue because there's a lot of cool poses with Diamondback in this story.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about a t-shirt?
T-shirt. I'm going to go with the opening splash of Rachel jumping into Cap's arms.
Yeah.
I just think that's it's fun. Like the smile on both their faces brings out a lot of joy. And who doesn't want to spread joy with their t-shirt when they're walking around?
Right. That's what t-shirts are for.
100%.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm going to go with, I think it's page 19, that top panel where Cap is doing a flying karate kick. And Diamond's doing a left cross to some bad guy. It's a cool action scene with a bunch of bad guys surrounding Cap and Diamondback, and they're making short work of them. So
I agree.
Yeah, a lot of fun there.
And what's going in your time capsule?
Whoo, Rick, so many things to pick from. But I'm not going to go with the low-hanging fruit here.
Ooh,
I know
what do
you
you
like when I
consider
say
the
that.
low-hanging fruit?
Well, I don't want to get into that, but I'm going to go with Cap's portable computer.
Okay.
Because it does ring a bell, because We have one of these similar things in my family in 1993, which is, the year that this actually came out, December 93. Compaq came out with its Compaq Plus portable computer, which had the little LED screen, LCD screen, and then it also had the fold down keyboard. And it just that I could see the artist being inspired by the Compaq Plus portable computer. It was a powerful thing, 16-bit portable computer, Rick, with a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive, had a thick, check this out, 360 kilobyte disk drive. I mean, that's
that is
crazy, right?
That is more than 359.
Yeah. It retailed for $4,995. So top of the line, state of the art technology. So I think one of my brothers has one of those.
You could buy a car back then for that money.
You could, yeah. He kept all those old computers that we had, and he still has them all. So including his Compaq Plus portable computer that he got somewhere along the way.
He's getting his money's worth then.
Yeah. How about your time capsule?
Oh, I'm going for the low-hanging fruit.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'm going for page 8.
Yep.
Panel 2, where Sidewinder says, until Hillary's national health care program goes into effect, that's pretty much...
good thing he didn't wait.
Yeah. It's pretty much a point in time.
Right.
That I think we all can understand what that references to. So
yeah.
That is going in my time capsule.
Yeah, imagine like that's definitely a time specific reference that would be lost on a lot of future readers.
Was that what you were referring to before?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course, the Hillary healthcare plan. Yeah.
Way to make me feel bad. All right.
No.
That's all right. You took a page right out of my playbook. I try to do that to you sometimes, so it's all right.
But it's a great reference, right? And Gruenwald used a lot of time references, whether it was bands or concerts or books or interesting the Patchwork Girl of Oz, which is one of the, I don't know, there were like 13 or 14 books about the Wizard of the Oz, and this was one of them from 1913. Just an odd selection, so I wonder what that was all about.
Well, he used that as a reference to the Munchkin who tried to do something for his uncle, right? And
that's
kind
right.
of correlated.
Yeah, you're right. He did come back around to that at the end. Yeah. Good.
Bob,
nice literature reference.
I have a thought for a new segment to add to our show. I want to run it by you.
All right. I can't wait to hear this.
How about we end each episode answering a question from a listener?
Oh, that's a good one. Sure. Yeah.
What do you think of that? Yeah.
Yeah, I like
fun,
that.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So I'm throwing that out there to you, listeners. Feel free to shoot an email. You could send it to CapComicFans@gmail.com. And just put something in the subject line saying question for the episode or whatever. And send us your question. Now, It could be Captain America related. It could be Captain America comic related. It could be Captain America MCU related. It doesn't matter. It could be a personal question for Bob.
I got it. I can hear it already. I can hear. First question is Tom Boyd. Oi! Why do you hate Diamondback?
So now, just because it's any question you want to ask us doesn't mean necessarily be get asked on the episode. Right. But send us your questions. You can send them via email again, capcomicfans@gmail.com.
You should be good.
And we'll try to see if we can answer them here on the show. It should be a fun way to end the show.
I am certainly exercising my right to not be self-incriminating at some point. I'm sure.
Or that way Otherwise, it'll be the same boring ending with, hey, if you don't mind, please rate, review, and
Oh, right.
subscribe wherever you listen.
Yep.
And if you're on YouTube right now, why are you not giving us a thumbs up? I don't understand. Why are you not giving us a thumbs up? It's so simple. Just do it.
Do it.
Right? And then, leave us a comment on YouTube, on Spotify, Facebook group, do all of that. 5 stars on Apple. We'd love all of that. So,
yeah.
And as always, thank you for listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.